Hello everybody, my name is Ibanithos, and welcome to In a Nutshell, Banshee, she who screams. Now, according to mythology, Banshee was a creature who apparently her wailing could be heard on the eve of someone's death, or, alternatively, her cry could actually kill people. So today we're going to be running her unmodded, as all my previous ones have been shown, so no mods. And I'll be running the Zenith. Now, the Zenith is a weapon who, since there's been a fairly big change in how the login rewards work, you might get faster than you think. So, basically, we're going to show something really quick here. We'll be running, of course, level 30 enemies, as per our normal standard, to start our testing off with, as you can see. Oh, they're active. Oopsie. I didn't pause the AI. Kill them all. There we go. Okay. So, Banshee by herself is relatively a weak frame. We have a couple different variations here, of course, and I will show damage of the Zenith right now. So Zenith has two forms. Auto fire, which is pretty ridiculous. And then it has another one, which I'll save for another time. So the first of Banshee's abilities is called Sonic Boom, I want to say? That's what I call it. Yep, Sonic Boom. So Sonic Boom is kind of ridiculous. So it does a small amount of damage, very small. As you can see here, 50 damage. But its strength is different, but depending on the strength, the enemies get knocked a certain amount of range. So, as I understand it, heavier enemies fly less far, lighter enemies fly farther. Of course, the range of the ability to affect targets is 15 meters. My next one is Sonar, which I'll show here. So Sonar lasts for a certain period of time and shows weak points. Now, normally these weak points, if you look at the abilities, give you a critical multiplier of 5 times. So, if you crit on an enemy that has a weak spot with a weapon that can actually crit, it will deal 5 times its normal critical damage. So it's really good for one-shot poking damage because it will go through walls. Your radius of 35 meters is everything around you in a 35-meter radius is visualized, even semi through walls. The duration of force 30 seconds. The next one is Silence. Now, it's very interesting because when you use Silence, notice how they're stunned briefly. On top of that, if they were actually active enemies, you would find that they would be really hard pressed to actually hit me. Their reaction time is much slower, and my gun's weapon fire, of course, is completely reduced to 0, which is pretty nice. Now, my last ability is Soundquake. Now, Soundquake is a channeling ability. It's very easy once you get it to level up Banshee because it does a pretty good job at wiping out most things in early game, and I'll showcase it here. So, besides dealing damage, it also staggers enemy in its range, and you can kind of see its range by the white line that appears on some of those things here. So it has a pretty good range, though. I think he fell off the edge. Now, unfortunately, it's a channeled ability you can't move while using it. It drains 12 energy per second, but deals 200 damage per second in a 20-meter range, which are pretty dang cool. Now, besides the fact that all of Banshee's weapons are hushed, so all weapons that Banshee runs with are automatically silent, which are pretty amazing. So as you can see, Banshee's abilities by themselves are not very strong, but we are going to showcase one little thing really quick here. That's kind of a neat trick. Now this is with the Zenith. So if you middle click, because if you just right click, you're going to zoom in. But if you middle click and step back, it's just a little disc. And that disc allows you to shoot people through walls. Now, if you look at the top right, you'll actually see the timer. The top right will show the timer of 3 seconds left for the spinner drops out, and then of course I can't shoot through walls anymore, and the bullets won't hit their targets. Also, don't get marked, which is a little annoying. So, by and large, Banshee unmodified is not that spectacular, which is unfortunate. She is, however, pretty good at stealth play. Now, I'll showcase that to a certain degree. Running, I think this is fine. I can pause that. I can run invincibility just to be on the safe side. Boom. So people have spotted me. Obviously, they've spotted me. I run in. Knock him back. You can also right-click early. No, they're there somewhere. Ah, there it is. Boom. Just like that. So her silence is actually a fairly useful ability. And if you're doing a stealth mission, you don't really have a stealthy frame like Loki or Avara, you can actually use Banshee tactically to go through a mission without raising alarms, as long as you use your silence effectively. Now, of course, the Zenith I'm using because, of course, it can go through walls, which is super, 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 super useful. But then again, at the same time, it's not that practical. Now, how do you mod Banshee? A lot of people will tell you there's only one surefire way to really mod Banshee, and it's on my first configuration. But I'm going to show you how I would mod Banshee for a couple different ways. So if you're trying to run a stealth play build, you're going to want to use an aura that fits that. So more often than not, you're going to probably want to run enemy radar, actually, because enemy radar will let you see enemies through walls. Alternatively, you can also use the impedances, like Infested. I think there's Sprint Boost is another good one to have, or even the Scavengers. Shield disruption, or corrosive protection if you're going up against enemies and you just want to do tons of damage. But if I was running in particular for something special, especially if I was just doing a stealth mission, I would run enemy radar. Now beyond that, I'd want to run for duration, as much duration as I can possibly handle. Now, beyond having that one, maybe having some industrial range would be a good idea to have along with. So you'd want to run range and duration, not necessarily strength. Although strength you want to keep about 100%, so you don't want to try to go too much into one thing or another. Like if I go overextended here, I'm going to have to somehow compromise my power strength somehow in order to make things work. So dropping in Intensify, maybe doing Augur Secrets to get me really close to that. Like, I'm not 100% sure what would actually... I think Blind Rage would be the only one that could actually, balance that out. But then once again, I have to balance out that efficiency cost. So, if I'm running a strictly pragmatic build, something for the common soldier, I would probably run something with continuity, because more likely not you'll have continuity by the time you get Banshee. And I probably would run Intensify, since I have that as well. Now, in this tree here, I would probably give myself... Steel Fiber is okay, but Steel Fiber is only good on Banshee Prime. Regular Banshee only has like 30 armor, so she actually has less armor and less energy than than Banshee Prime. So if you're running regular Banshee, which you get from the Clan Dojo Research Lab, which would be the Tenno Lab, the Tenno Lab in the Clan Dojo, she only has like 30 armor. Having 30 armor does not give you a whole bunch of statistics to run around and hit people with. It gives you the ability to sit quietly in a corner. So normally I would tell people run Vitality, give yourself a little bit extra health. Maybe if you have it, Quick Thinking, but more likely than not, you'll be running with something like Vitality, and then you'll be going right over into Naramon. And of course, in Vizarin, you'd also want to be looking at things like Flame Repellent, Antitoxin, Shield Deflection for faster recharges, and Toxin Resistances, and looking for your helpful modifiers, because you're pretty sure going to be needing them. Now in Naramon, or your dash polarity, you're going to be looking for things that, once again, increase both your range and your duration if possible. So probably running Stretch. If you have Streamline, maybe throwing Streamline on there to give you kind of a balanced approach to your stats. And if you have Augur Reach, running an Augur Reach and Augur Message. Again, if you have them. These are mods you can pick up by doing the basic level of bounties and Cetus. They are useful as heck to get, especially when you're playing the game very, very early on. And to be honest, I hate doing the Cetus bounties, but for Augur Reach and Augur Message, I would do them 100 times in a row, because they are that useful. And possibly even running Natural Talent if you find this one, which is kind of a rare mod to find, even among rare mods. So more likely than not, people won't be having that. But if you do have it, run Natural Talent. Otherwise, run Flow. For that extra punch of energy that you're probably going to need. You're going to need a good pull. Now, if you're going to be running like spy missions with her, Intruder would be an alternative to Flow, because you're going to want to be able to get an extra little bit of time on hacking, and this is going to be really beneficial for you. Exceptionally beneficial. Now, of course, you also have a selection of augments that you can eventually pick up. One of them is Resonance, which is actually something that you could use in spy missions very effectively, because it basically gives you free sonars every time you hit, and I will showcase that. Now, and on top of that, you also have Resonating Quake, which basically, no channeling. You just smack once and deal tons of damage, which I'll also showcase in its own right. But first I'm going to showcase Resonance, and I'll also show exactly what the difference in having some mods on a Warframe like this can be. On top of that, I'll also be doing some Zenith, but that will be in a minute. Nope, don't you dare. Don't you dare throw me off there yet. Okay, so we're going to simulate for Lancers again. We will pause the AI, and we'll jump down there. Now, I know I didn't show you guys exactly what changed on the abilities, and I'm about to show you that now. So, if you notice, all my abilities now have green, all the way across the board. All of the green is being improved by my mods that I've given, because all my mods are universally happy across the board. So with Sonic Boom, for example, going up from a 15-meter range, I now have almost a 30-meter range. The damage goes up from 50 to 65. My strength of the blast is up to 78. So what that means, and again, Sonic Boom is more for giving you space. But if you notice, I think I just dropped one off the edge of the world. Yep, one off the edge of the world. So now I have 3 left. 3 left here. So it kind of gives you an idea just how much the change in force can be, which can be quite dramatic if you're running full power. On top of that, my Sonar now has a 61-meter range, a 46-second duration, and the critical multiplier is 6.5 times rather than 5. So an additional 1.5 times. Again, making high crit weapons deadly. On top of that, we also have Silence, which has almost a 50-second duration up from 30, and a 35-meter range rather than a 20. Soundcrack, of course, goes up from 20 meters to 35, damage up to an extra 60, and it drains the energy by less than half the amount. Now, by Soundquake now, of course, as we all know, this is kind of unfair because these enemies are, of course, unable to do anything. So we're just going to do this, and we're going to sneak over here, and we're going to shoot that weak point if I can manage to hit it. So it's right there between the shoulder blades. See, it just released another sonic wave. So when you kill someone with it, it actually triggers a sonic wave that will reveal other enemies that are nearby. This is again why you want to run for as maximum range and duration as you can, because having that is going to be super beneficial. Now I'm going to be modding my Zenith. My Zenith, I believe, if I remember correctly, has a high crit chance, especially in its secondary mode. And see, as it says, infinite punch through. Just infinite. Delightful. So, what we're going to be looking at here for this weapon is definitely going to be point strike, obviously, for 87% chance of critting. You will be looking, of course, for other forms of crit modifier, if you have them. Some people will probably have something. I don't know if I do. I do have that for the additional 5 times, which is fantastic. Is there another one? I can't remember off the top of my head. If there is, I believe there is. I'd have to find it. That's weird. I could have sworn there was another mod for rifle crit. I just can't remember what it was. I know point strike is the one, but I thought there was a different one too. And it may be in a different division. Now, on top of that, you want, of course, let's see here. So, that gives multi-shot. And that gives punch through. I thought it was a regular mod. Again, I could be very, very wrong that it does not exist at all, or I just never used the darn thing. That's sawtooth, clip slash, impact, hush. Weird. So this weapon has 2 benefits with running with, of course, Banshee. The first one, of course, being is I'm going to throw on Serration for extra damage. Hunter munitions, because it's a crit-based weapon, which makes it fantastic. And because I have some more space, I'm probably going to run multi-shot, so run split chamber. And then I'll run over here and go Vigilante Armaments. So now I have an 18% chance to crit, but that's not as important as the fact of having quite a high crit chance. So let's showcase this a little bit with a form of active combat. Oop, nope. There it goes. There he goes. So as you can see, that was just by itself with no sonar. And now we're going to show the sonar. Ooh. Just thought about this. I should have gathered my energy together before I did that. Oof. He's over there. He's over there, so we're gonna... Oh, that sucks. As you can see, 13,000 damage is pretty darn spiffy. Now, once again, Banshee is not made for frontal assault. She's made for that stealthy, sneaky gameplay. So, there are people who do build her purely for the damage output, and I will showcase what that looks like. In my configuration A, I kind of have her with her boomstick build, as I like to call it sometimes. The boomstick build is there for the efficiency, the range, and the duration, and the strength. And the reason for that is because then her energy channel, her soundquake is like 11 instead of being like a million. Now, of course, I really should edit this slightly because having more duration isn't as super helpful as it could be. Taking that off, putting prime flow there, and instead changing myself into something a little bit more, viable. See, but even if I do that, then it still sits about the same at 15. And that's because channel abilities are affected by duration and efficiency. So that doesn't help me at all. Now, if I got rid of this ability, Transient Fortitude, I would actually be able to do that. Because I could put in narrow-minded? No. I could put in fleeting expertise, have it just above that, jump over and grab myself, where is it? Streamline. Boop. Wait, what? No. I need duration. Augur message. See, now I have abilities that drain about 9 per second. But once again, that's still a pretty high cost. And you'd be quite right. The cost of... There's really no way of making Banshee very energy efficient. And it's unfortunate. So in the end, you only can really rely on two things. First of all, you're probably going to be running some pretty hefty mods to make her very, very powerful. But at the same time, you're also not going to be really worrying too much about anything else. In this circumstance, overextended gives me slightly more power range, but you don't need a super amount of power range because I'm going to be running, of course, her resonating quake, which I'm about to show. So when when Banshee's running her full power, she has a huge energy pool. But I will showcase just how dangerously destructive this can be in a single instance. And then they die. Or then there was one. There it is. So, Banshee's Sonic Quake is kind of a weird thing to build for, which ironically was one of the biggest DPS frames in the game for quite a while. But suddenly it stopped being so. So, I hope everybody you've kind of enjoyed watching this. I will jump out for just a moment and show you the other mods that Banshee can use. And hopefully you come to the same consideration that I do, that Banshee is not a DPS frame, like a lot of people seem to want to build her. She is in fact, oh yay, she is in fact a support frame. More so, she is a stealth frame, would be the best way of putting it. A very nice way of putting it. Okay, now where is, I think it is in Suda. Yeah, Suda is where she would be. So, you have Sonic Fracture, which is a mod that gives enemy armors reduced by 70%, which is fantastic. That gives her a lot of ability for their guns. Of course, Resonance, which you've already seen. Savage Silence, which increases her finisher damage, which means that she's sneaking up on people like a boss. And of course, Resonating Quake. So, once again, I really just can't help but emphasize this one point. Banshee is a stealth frame. She is good for stealth play. She is not good for the huge frontal assaults that a lot of people try to play her on. She used to be really, really good with Resonating Quake back when it was still something made for her to DPS large areas. Now it's not. It's made her a one-shot... Oh, what the heck? Oh, it's a particular mod, right. It's made her a one-shot get in there and then just get back out. So, everyone, I hope you've enjoyed watching this. If you like it, please leave a like, a comment in the comment section. If you didn't like it, let me know why. I've changed a few things with my graphics. I've changed a few things with my audio quality, so I hope you've all enjoyed that. And until next time, I hope to see all you guys in my next video. And until then, thank you so much for watching.